video is going to be all about the consultation call. The consultation call, I want to break it down into three different parts, is a critical aspect of your selling journey. And we're going to break down the consultation call into three steps: preparing for the consultation, the actual consultation call itself, and setting expectations and confirming and CTAs and things like that. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Preparing for the consultation call. This is should seem pretty straightforward, but the best way to do it, once a consultation is booked, we have an autoresponder going out confirming that happens. I would encourage you to reach out as well, saying, hey, just wanted to share with you that that I've received the invitation for a consultation to occur on this day at this time, and be happy to answer any questions that you have. Just wanted to touch base. So anything comes up between now and then, please let me know. Please reach out and provide your contact information. The next thing is preparing it. Google them, Google their company, find out what they do, what's their role, what is their responsibility. Are they owner? How long have they owned it? Are they a manager? How long have they been there? How long have they been managing? What are they looking to, are they looking to grow? What type of industry? Who are their competitors? This is a big one. What's trending in their world? Find out some of the words that they use in their industry so that you're prepared to use those words. If they say CRM, bring up CRM during the conversation. Try to find videos and listen to how they talk, or maybe watch podcast episodes. And what's really cool about that is I heard you on so-and-so's podcast and you mentioned da, 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 da. I thought that was really interesting. What are the challenges you're seeing right now in your industry, right? Little things like that. Spend some time. I promise you it will be worth it. The system that we have, the calendar booking system that we're currently using, will send reminders to them. But I may want to reach out to and say, hey, I'm really excited about this. Or maybe if you find something you need clarification on, you simply want to say, hey, this was a really interesting article. If you've seen it, by all means, you don't want to inundate them. You just want to let them know you're thinking of them, you're interested in what they have to do. Because here's this. During this consultation call, you come into this prepared, and you have to know there's three things that are on their mind. Anybody, and this goes for any sales, three things. Number one, and I've said this before, but it's worth repeating. What's in it for them? WIIFM, right? What's in it for them to make their life better? Number two is, how's it going to help their family? And 2 and 3 can sometimes be interchangeable. Number three is, how much money is this going to cost, or how much money am I going to make, right? And if you can address those three issues during this consultation call, you're already way ahead of the game. So number one, do your research in prepping and preparing for the call. Number two, the actual call. Number two, the consultation call. Okay, what I really like that we've done in the consultation call, and you'll find this attached. Let me share my screen with you, is we've created a script, and you can see right here, it's a consultation script. Obviously, you can memorize this, you try it, but you're going to have to put your own personality into this, right? So I took the liberty of writing this down, and you'll see this consistent throughout all of our educational or instructive instruments. Anytime you see the italics with gray, that's just kind of something that I'm adding to either provide context or to elaborate. So you're not going to be actually saying, thank you for making time for this meeting. How's your week going? Listen, acknowledge briefly, and go to the next step. Great. You're not going to be saying that, right? And that's why I did that. One of the key things here, though, that I wanted to point out, make a promise. Make a promise that you can easily deliver on during that call. So in this case, I promise to answer all of your questions on the call today. Now, I'm going to go into what happens a little bit later, but get in the habit of making a promise early on, before you start literally building the relationship by asking questions. Remember how I said earlier that they care about three things: themselves, their family, and their money? What is this going to cost, or how much am I going to make? This is how you start building that relationship, because you have to make sure that they know that they are very important to you. Number two is their family. And number three is their money. Those are all directly related to them. And that's what either moves the needle forward or it takes them off of your radar. Okay. So build the relationship, focus. And you can see again, wait for responses, acknowledge briefly. There's all of this in here for you to go through. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about your company. What are the challenges they're experiencing? Now, this first consultation or this consultation call could be a get to know you meeting, right? You could just spend the time getting to know them and then schedule a follow-up to go over the details so that you can absorb all of the information that you've gotten, that you've received from them. What I really like paying attention to right here is, tell me a little bit about you and your company. They may rattle off 6 or 7 different things that are just that's, challenges or whatever. I will take 3 of those, and I'll hopefully try to get one from themselves, one about their family, and one related to money, right? Which is usually challenges. But I'll try to do those 3 things so that I can repeat back to them. You mentioned earlier that you weren't getting enough time with your family. So I can relate. Oh my gosh, before I hired my first assistant, my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, did not like me working 70, 80, 90 hours a week. I had to change that. So you can start relating to them, right? Really, really big part of that. But you'll get this document here as a guide to go through. And then obviously I keep elaborating, but this is where I want you to circle back around towards the end of the conversation, and say, in the beginning of this conversation, my promise to you was that I'd answer all of your questions. I want to hold true to my promises. Did I answer all of your questions? Are you satisfied? This is a great way to set expectations, confirm that you're understanding and listening to all of their needs. And it also gives them an opportunity to maybe think of a different idea or ask of a different question. One thing that I think you should bring up in every single consultation, whether it's this one or a follow-up consultation, is describing right here the 60-day onboarding strategy. And every single DA knows what performing a task means. So let me jump into that really quick. There's 3 steps in a task, as you probably heard before on my other videos. Number 1 is they want to make sure that they name the task and you understand whatever that task is named, so that you're making sure you're not miscommunicating. Our DAs are trained in this. You need to tell the client this, because our DAs are trained in their introductory call to talk about the 3 steps of a task. What that does is it shows that we're communicating with each other, and it reinforces the power of systematic growth. What it also does is offers perfect continuity based on what you said, what you promised is being delivered true. Does that make sense? I hope it does. The second part is confirming that task, meaning our DA will repeat back what our clients or whomever that point of contact is that's delegating that task. Our DA is trained to repeat back step by step to make sure that it didn't miss anything. And if they did, this is the time to collect it via video recording. And the third thing was to set a signal. And that signal is, at what point is this particular task considered complete? When do we both know, the client and the DA, when do both those parties know this task is complete? So name it, confirm it, and set a signal, create a signal. It's very important that you explain this to our clients so they understand the level of detail that goes into the tasks that are delegated and how our DAs perform. The next thing you can touch on is we offer a 60-day onboarding process. And why do we do this? Because we are distant assistants, not virtual assistants. And you can watch the video on the differences between DAs and VAs. The reason why we have a 60-day onboarding process so we can build that relationship. Also, so we can document all of the tasks delegated to us so that we can turn over a workflow manual. At the end of the 60 days, we'll actually send our clients a workflow manual. It'll be branded with their colors and their name and their logo and all of that stuff. And this is their asset. They own this. So it's a great way for them to start formulating a plan for developing a workflow manual for their entire business, not just for the responsibilities delegated to our DA, and make that clear delineation. Your DA is going to be working on these tasks specifically. It's also during the onboarding process, that's when all the training occurs and things like that. And if your prospect ever asks, well, I want them fully trained already, you need to tell them, oh, they have a good foundational understanding. However, they still need to be trained by you, because you are there's no one else like you. The way that you work, even if you're using same software as your next door neighbor or competitor, you will do things differently because that's how you are. And our DA needs to learn how you work before they can ever create any workflows or systems or processes for our clients. They have to learn what their tone is and what their voice is, how they get things done before they can improve upon any process. They need to know, how is it getting done now? So that's really, really, really important to talk about. Again, that's all in the script. And so definitely take some time to check that out. You can see there's a lot of stuff here for you to do. There's also some things that you need to ask, which is really important. And this is included in the script down below, because this is a lot of things that our recruitment team is going to need to know should your prospect want to move forward. So one of two things is going to happen, or one of three things is actually going to happen. Either they're not going to be interested and they don't want you to ever call them again, or they want you to schedule a follow-up call so they have time to maybe do some more research, study our competition. They're just not ready to move forward just yet. Or they're ready to move forward. They want to start the process. They want to get things going. If that's the case, there's a one-time onboarding fee of $500 that they'll have to be paying. And you'll need to ask each of these questions so that you could answer them and put that into JHL, our CRM, our Go High Level. But it's really important to ask these questions. I can go into ISP and Boss and other videos, but who's going to be the point of contact? And ask them, what credit card would you like to use? Do you want to go ahead and sign up for the onboarding fee now? No? Okay, I'll go ahead and send you a link so that to our Sportal, which is the subscription portal, so that you can pay the fee. Okay, so study this. You definitely need all the stuff, all the answers to every single one of these questions here, documented in the CRM underneath the notes, so that our recruitment team can find whoever it is, the right candidates, and kind of those are the questions that we need. Whew, that was a long conversation for the consultation call, but it's really important. I can go on and on and on about this stuff, but if you have any other questions, please let me know. And I'll go ahead and make another video so that we can talk about, the recap email and things like that are going to be coming up. Make sure that you confirm the promise, right? As promised earlier in this conversation. That's huge because that isolates everything, and it gets the confirmation going. It also lets them know that you do what you say you do. So any other questions, please feel free to reach out. I'll make this third video here on call to actions and follow-ups. All right, thanks so much.